Welcome to the Python programming video series. In this movie, we are going to install Python. I have already got my Python 2.7.8 on my desktop, so I can easily install it. But I would like to give a few things to you before we get started with this installation. First of all, where to get this MSI, which is the installer for Python. You can simply get this from the by visiting this link, python.org/downloads. Here in the download section, you will find that Python 3.4 is there and Python 2.7 is there. I'm going to refer the Python 2.7 or any other version as Python 2.x and likewise Python 3.x. Now, before we get started with the Python 2.7, here is a quick tip about which one to choose, either Python 3.4 or the Python 2.7. You can simply visit this URL. Here is more about the difference between Python 2.x and 3 and can read and find out which one you want to choose. For this video series, we are going to choose Python 2.x. Now, here are the quick differences which one to choose. If you are quite fairly new to the Python, it is recommended that you choose Python 3.x, but you don't have to worry about that in this video series. We are going to start from the very scratch point without any prior basic knowledge, and we are going to learn Python 2.x. Now, why we are choosing Python 2.x? We want to take this series into a much greater depth and much greater extensive usage. And if you want to take the things into much greater depth, then you have to go with the Python 2.x. Now, what is the reason behind that? There are a few modules which are available only in the Python 2.x and not in the 3.x. Now, quick tip. What is the Python modules and libraries? Let's take a quick example. Let's say you sometime felt into the usage of using Excels into your Python program. Python by default doesn't give you the flexibility to work on the Excel files. So what you're going to do, just download a package which gives you the flexibility to work on the Excel and just going to use it. Now, this is known as the modules, the already pre-written codes which you can just import in your computer and can start working on it. Now, there are a great number of packages which are available with 2.x, and only a few of them are still being converted into 3.x, although you are going to not need as a beginners, but we are going to take series into a much greater depth. So I'm going to say just stick with the Python 2.x for this video series, and rest just leave it on me. You can simply click on this link and Python download file is going to be downloaded onto your system. I'm going to close this one, and Python installation is fairly simple. Just double click on this file and wait for a few seconds, give it a run permission, and here it is. Now it's asking you whether you want to install Python for all users or just for you. Since I'm the only one who is going to use this system for this entire video recording purposes, so I'm going to install it for all users. And it says here is Python 2.7, which is 2.7. Make sure that you remember it is being installed at Python in this path, which is C drive Python 2.7. I'm going to click on the next. Now there are a few things which you will need to take care. Now, like this, it's saying Python TK, which stands for Tinker, and Python.exe to path and all these things. So you can also install and add path, all of these things. So I'll just skip here because I don't want to change anything out here, because we can deal up with these things later on. I'm just going to click on the next, and I'm going to assign yes permission to it. And you can see it has started to copy the files into my system. Once copying of the file is being finished, then it will start installing the Python. It's fairly a simple process. Now, once it has finished the installing of Python, just click on the finish, and that's it. You have just installed a Python successfully onto your system.